Oh, hey there, didn't see you. Hey, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Uh, Episode 3 of what it's like to not go through divorce, but life after divorce. You guys look great tonight, guys, gals, and the non-binary pals. Wow, that was cheesy. I'm leaving it in because I don't do cuts. Can you see the top of my head? Did shave up a little bit because I'm kind of excited about doing these. This is my apartment for now. Let's see what happens. So talked about what I kind of touched on. I really didn't, unfortunately, get into what I wanted to about talking about the kids or when the kids ask certain questions. Um, Honestly, with that, I want to touch base on that real quick. Giving them an honest answer and truthful answer is most important, but also not giving them the whole truth because honestly, what do you tell a 7-year old when and when they ask certain things? You can't just be a dick about it. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how mad you are at the ex-husband and the ex-wife. It does not matter how mad you are with them. You can't just let the kids have it because it's not their fault. It really isn't. And so that's that. We're cutting that one. There's co-parenting right there, done and over with. So part 3. I am rambling at this point. I mentioned a lot in that very first video about what it's like to find new friends. And, oh, my nose itches. Power through it, man. So, I talked about losing friends and that one friend that I still had. And we're back. That wasn't a cut, that was a pause. So, I talked about that one friend. Well, just so happens that the Saturday that I woke up after recording that video, they wanted off one of the groups that we built together. They wanted off admins for that in Facebook. Facebook doesn't really mean anything anymore. And then I looked, I'm like, oh, you defriended me, cool. So I guess since we're not Facebook official, it means we're no longer friends at all. Which, honestly, it's like a burden off the chest because you're like, you don't have to pretend to be friends. I mean, you never really should ever pretend to be friends with anybody unless you're trying to climb up the social ladder. But no, I'm serious. You really shouldn't try to you shouldn't force a friendship because otherwise it just feels fake. Kind of like how my head keeps getting cut off and it's really irritating. Maybe I put the camera too low. Anyways, but that's, yeah, friendship, it's a bitch. So, I, got some pretty awesome hoodie. It's actually one of my favorites. It's a big friggin' hoodie. But that's beside the point. Friends. So, the friends I met, via because of my divorce. I met this person through met the person who actually helped me the most through Tinder, and originally wasn't even supposed to be anything more than just friendship, and it blossomed into something awesome. Um, and she introduced me to her friends, and one one of her friends, he's a little eccentric, and I love it because him and I will sometimes get into it, but sometimes it's fun, but at least we're flat and honest with each other about anything that happens. If I say something inappropriate, he catches me on it, and it's awesome. It's not sitting there piddle putzing around, twiddling your thumbs trying to figure out, well, what was said that upset people. That he at least tells me what's going on in his. Well, you stop. I'm trying to make a video. So how about you stop playing around? My dogs. There we go, pups. Gotta love him. But he's awesome. He's, like I said, a little eccentric. And her female friend that she introduced me to, Don't know much about her. Um, didn't know if she actually liked me or not, like as a person or even a human being, until much later. Because I had a flat out ask. I was like, "Hey, are we cool? You just don't talk a lot?" And yeah, that's what it came down to, being shy and kind of an introvert. So it's been very interesting, and I've met a lot of different people, going out and being on my own. And to be honest, I haven't actually really ever been on my own until this year, until after everything was said and done. Um, living on my own, making my own dinners, doing all my own dishes. Not having a team or anything that lives in the one home. Like, because we got married practically right out of high school. Yeah, it may have been like 2 years after high school. But at the same time, I moved out of my mom's house, and her and I moved together. Never had an apartment of my own. Never had to go get my own apartment. Never had to do all my own shopping. It was like when March came, or when it came around, and I was living in the basement, um, when we first separated. That was, it was it is what it is, but it wasn't the same as being completely and utterly on your own. And sometimes we would have dinner as a family, upstairs, with all the kids, or I'd make dinner for the kids upstairs before they went to bed, before their mom got home, or their aunt would, whatever. But I never really had to forge or scrounge for my own. And honestly, it's really revealing to see what crap you eat when you're just, because all I ever had to shop for was like, my snacks or something for when I was at work, or I was gonna have for lunch. But then I had to figure out what I was gonna have for lunch, dinner, breakfast, maybe a snack throughout the day. Make sure I have everything prepared. Make sure. Ah! Thank you. You're being rude. These people come here to see therapy. No, it's not therapy. Fuck that. It's not therapy. It's not legal. It's not counseling. I'm not counseling you. I am not your counselor. Sorry, I'm a little eccentric today. I'm very well hydrated. By the way, go drink some water. There. Someone told you. 8 minutes in. But, pause the video before you go get water. I'm gonna come. But when you're going through things and you've been with somebody for so long, you don't ever realize the kind of the fun things, the tiny little things that actually matter to you when you get to go and get your own food or get your own deodorant, or the things that you like, your own decorations for your house. It is so nice. Like, in the very beginning, I actually bought a surround sound for the very first time. Like, I had one of those little bars when I lived with my ex, from Bose or Sanyo or whatever, and Vizio. That's what it was. It was Vizio, and it was awesome. If it needed to, it could shake the house. Okay, it was awesome. But then I got my very own surround sound, after the divorce, and I will never go back. I mean, obviously I'll have to go back eventually. Maybe, I don't know. But I never want to go back to just a single bar, or just the TV, or just the stereo, or just my Bluetooth for my phone. I don't want to go back, but if I have to, I will, because necessities call. But there's so much that you can do when you don't have to, make sure the other person is happy. When you can make sure that only you are happy, and that's what's important. You got to remember about you. I mean, yeah, take care of number one, but you also got to take care of, don't forget your friends, and don't just be selfish, but also don't lose yourself to other people. Don't lose your identity. And I'll talk about that in the next video, losing your identity and refinding yourself. That's kind of what this one's about. But shopping it's so weird. Just doing your own thing and buying the food that you like, buying the food that's actually healthy for you. Obviously, I've been doing well because I'm, gotten fatter, but that's beside the point. It's amazing what happens. Anyways, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Please do tip your waitress and your waiter and the dumbbell. Waiter and dumbbell, it's a joke. That was a terrible joke. I'll see myself out. You guys have a good night. Bye.